Hey, it's Heather with the Elevation Strategy video blog. And today I thought we'd do something a little bit different and do this one as a Facebook Live. So I hope everybody's having an awesome Friday, and I hope you have some great stuff planned for this weekend. Today we're going to address a question that came from somebody who views the video blog, but also who's a friend of mine. And they are a service provider, just like me. They have an agency that deals in client services, and they've been seeing a lot of success lately on medium.com. And as we all know with shareable content, the content that they have been seeing success with tends to be a little bit more salacious, definitely a little bit more personal, kind of opening it all up, as far as emotions and insider stuff. And their question is, should I be posting that under my name? Should I be posting it under my name in association with my company? Should I be posting it under a nom de plume and doing it totally anonymously? But at that point, how does it serve my business? So the question basically is, how do we byline this success that we're having on medium.com? And I love this question because there's just so much to unpack here. So the first thing that I want to say is, let's go back to the number one rule of all of visibility, which is, before you spend a dime or a minute of your precious time on marketing, you have got to understand, what needle are you trying to move? Who do you need to rally and be visible to in order to move that needle? And then finally, what are that person's needs? And as you unpack what their needs are, that's where you start to explore, where do they hang out? What kind of content are they ingesting? Once you get to that need piece of it. So for this person's challenge, I would say, don't ask, how do I byline my articles? Go back and say, what are the three needles that you're trying to move? Now, this is simple if we're dealing with a business, right? Usually a business is going to have those three meta goals. It's like, we need to get to X number of units sold. We need to increase revenue by X number in the next quarter. And in order to do that, we need to reach Bob and Susan hang out here. Now, this person is an entrepreneur. So the thing that we know about entrepreneurs is that they don't have such delineation between, this is my business life and this is my personal life. So my challenge to this person would be, sit down and look at, what are the three needles that you want to move in your life? What are the three things that you need to meet in your life? In order to do that, who do you need to rally and reach, and what are those people's needs? So as you sit down and look at that, you might see that some of them are getting clients. It might be hiring someone. It might be, I need to express myself. Like, when you sit down and look at those three things and then go forwards from there, it's going to become very clear, where are those people? What content are those people looking for? And who are they going to want to get that content from? Are they going to get it from you as just a person? Are they going to want to get it from you as a CEO of a company? Or are they maybe going to be totally cool getting it from an anonymous, nom de plume who lets them laugh their ass off and connect in a different way? And it totally doesn't matter who's producing that content, because it's content that entertains. It's not necessarily content that informs or needs to have any kind of authority behind it. So that's the first place that I would encourage you to start. And then the other thing that I want you to think about is, you've gone on Medium, as you should, as all marketers, all people that work in client services ought to. You've experimented with it. You've learned how the system works. But is it where your people are? And the stories that are getting clicks and likes are those stories that are moving those needles that you identified. So if you're going there and getting clicks and likes and it feels good, that's awesome. But if you're spending 3 hours a day on that and it doesn't completely map back to one of those needles, it could end up kind of being that the entrepreneurial version of a solution in search of a problem, right? Where it's like, I have all these people, the people are following now. How do I use them? The old thing of like, hey, we let our intern build a Snapchat channel for us and now we have 100,000 followers. And it's like, well, you make incontinence aids for 50-year-old women. I'm not entirely sure what you're going to do with your Snapchat channel. So that's some good advice, that do not let your intern create any kind of social media channel for you under your actual company name, because that's just bad news bears right there. But I do just want you to think, just because it's there doesn't mean that you have to be there and that you have to invest the time in it. I really want you to think about what needle doesn't move for you and whether it's worth the investment for you. And then the other thing that I want to share is that this person is very much a creative person. I have no doubt that this person is eventually going to have a book and leave the entire agency world behind. And it could be that the writing on medium.com is scratching a personal itch, in which case, especially as entrepreneurs, it's important that we not conflate the personal with the business. So if you're spending 3 hours a day on Medium, nurturing your following and, proposing stories to all the different publications, but it doesn't map directly back to one of those business objectives, that might be a personal thing. Like, it might be that you just personally want to express yourself creatively and you're an awesome writer and the stories you tell are so amusing, in which case just make sure a couple things. Number one, that you're filing that under a personal time bucket. So you understand that work you're doing is going against a personal need that you have, which we should all be filling the personal needs that we have. Number two, keep your mind always on those meta goals that you have and make sure that you're never impacting those things. So specifically in the case of somebody who does client services, if you're really expressing yourself by, exposing the seedy underbelly of client services, I would say probably doing that under a nom de plume or anonymously is going to be the way to do it, just so that you're never impacting that business side of things. I'm someone who truly believes that we bring ourselves to our businesses. Thanks to Lee Caraher, my former boss, for giving me that phrase. But if you follow me on Facebook, you know that I don't really put up a whole lot of guardrails. But I also know, since I have business people on there, I would never say, don't feel like working today, I'm taking off and going for a run, or my gosh, clients are absolutely the worst. Like, it's just, you always have to keep in mind your audience and the fact that you never know who's in your audience. And if you're getting great attention from telling those more salacious things, do that anonymously. And then in 5 years, when you write your expose tell-all and you decide to give up the agency and go on the podcast circuit, it doesn't matter, because you're going to be fine. You're going to be living the high life as a humorist, author, what have you. So that would be my advice. Go back to the beginning, really look at what goals are you trying to achieve? And don't say, how does Medium get me to those? Don't put the Medium here, put the Medium here. Say, what are my goals? Who am I trying to reach? Where are those people? Oh, hey, those people happen to be on Medium. Oh, hey, those people happen to be looking for this kind of content. And those people might not be looking for that salacious content. If you're trying to find new clients or do something a little bit more business-like, it might be the drier, longer haul content that you would be putting on Medium, which is no fun. I get it. It's no fun to log in and see that 5 people liked your article about some in-depth business process. But if those 5 people are going to move your needle more than the 30 people who liked your tell-all expose, from a business perspective, those 5 people mattered a little bit more. So go back to the beginning, think about the goals, never undermine the business for the purpose of having a personal moment. We all have personal moments, I get it. But anyhow, I thank you so much for providing a question for the video blog today. And if anybody else has a question that they would like to have answered, please do drop me a note if you want to do it anonymously, heather@elevation-strategy.com. Or you can always just post it down below in the comments of this Facebook Live, and we'll be sure to get to that next time. Anyhow, I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.